Welcome to Resilient Miami, a show where we highlight people and organizations making South Florida stronger and more resilient. And today I am so excited to have with me my friends and co-members of the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce's Sustainability Committee, and we are here to talk about an upcoming event that we're very excited about, our 9th Annual Sustainability and Green Visionary Awards Luncheon. With me, welcome guys, I have Mike Fernandez from WastePro and Albert Collazo representing Ford Motor Company. Both are colleagues on the committee with me as we get ready to have this another amazing luncheon, hosted by, of course, the legendary Lilian Lopez, president of the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, who we love dearly. And let's talk about this. This is an exciting panel discussion that we're going to have with a number of businesses, large and small, and also the University of Miami is on there. We have Carnival Cruise Lines, Ford Motor Company. Who else do we have?
We got PepsiCo, we got Carnival, we got the Everglades Foundation, we got University of Miami. I think we talked about that, but it's just a great opportunity to bring all these professionals in one session, where you got government, you got private sector, you got environmental science, you got non-for-profit, you got everybody, and you're getting different perspectives from from across the board here, and it all comes together. Everybody has a responsibility in this matter of in the environmental aspect of things. So it's a great event. Like in previous years, it's been a fantastic event. So
that's the beauty of this type of activity that we're doing in conjunction with the South Florida Hispanic Chamber. The fact that you bring together leaders from so many different sectors that we know are influential and really can make a difference in the local impacts to our environment. We have a sustainability agenda in South Florida, and it is critical that we maintain all hands on deck as to how do we make sure that we are protecting our most valuable resources here.
Yes, and I always say in South Florida, the environment is the economy. And so what better place to have those discussions than the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And again, we've been doing this one in particular for 9 years. And, always the takeaway, there's always a different takeaway, right? But oftentimes we end up talking a lot about how we in our daily lives can make a difference, because we all can. It's not just government. It's not just, big companies. We all also have a responsibility if we live here, because we live in such a special, beautiful ecosystem. So, Mike, I want to talk a little bit about what you do at WastePro, because it is just your company serves residents and businesses with essential services. I call them, solid waste management is as essential as public safety. And often is because it's tied to our public health.
100%. I mean, look, WastePro is in 12 states. We cover from all the way to Texas, to the East Coast, to Kentucky, down to Florida. And we're a fully integrated solid waste company with landfills, recycling facilities, transfer stations. So with that, on the landfill side, I will say we have made a push, especially in the recent years as I've been here, where we're recycling more rather than just landfilling. I mean, we're pulling out woods, we're putting out metals, we're putting out concrete. We're reducing the concrete into rubble, basically rock, and selling it and reselling it and reusing it for that building material, that aggregate that they need, and it's working perfect. It's like a full cycle. I mean, it's just we're recycling about 30 to 40% of what's coming into our landfills. So it's fantastic to see that.
And I think that's great. Finding another use for something before you dump it, right?
Yep.
Because the landfills are getting full. Yep. We all know that. One thing that people tend to have a hard time with is really learning how to recycle right.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because it's the whole thing about contamination. People don't even know they should be washing out their plastic containers and bottles and stuff like that. And I think there needs to be more education.
Yeah, on the recycling forefront, when I was the director for the Miami-Dade County Solid Waste Department, one of the things I came across, and I think it's a problem in society, is let's say you move from New York down to Miami, and whatever they did there in the recycling program, it's not done here. The markets are different. I mean, for instance, let's talk about glass. I mean, I got my Perrier glass right here, and so glass in this market was a problem. I mean, to get rid of it. So, if you got to truck this, and there's economics behind it, if you got to truck this hundreds and hundreds of miles to do something with it, it doesn't become profitable unless the municipality or the jurisdiction there that has the recycling program wants to pay for that. Then everything's on the table. But then recycling gets much more expensive. That really it becomes a burden on the people. So, for instance, I'm going to tell you real quick on glass is in our MRF that we have up in Ocala and we have another MRF in Sarasota. We actually recycle the glass and we make it. We take it to a place that they crush it into aggregate and they use it into building materials. Oh, it's fantastic.
Wow.
It's incredible what they could do with the glass. So, but that's an example in that market. So imagine having to take truckloads from South Florida right here up to Sarasota. Mm-hmm. That's going to cost a pretty penny.
Right.
But I think it's just unfortunate. It's not a universal rule of thumb that what's recycled in one piece of the part of the country is recycled everywhere, and that's a problem. And I think it becomes more of an outreach, education, and explaining to the constituents that this is how it's done here, mm-hmm. and try and find avenues in the future for simple things like this, like glass. So,
well, we're hearing, I think, recently that the county just unveiled a zero waste policy. So we'll learn more as that gets rolled out, but I know recycling is a big one for that one, and education has to be part of it. But
I also think that corporations have a responsibility in this whole area, and small businesses do too. As an example, Ford Motor Company is a leader in this area because we have currently 84 zero waste to landfill sites around the world. So this is an example of a major manufacturer really operating in a very different way, and a way that is resilient towards the communities that we function in.
Of course. And, clean transportation, we're getting more and more into clean transportation. I was just reading about somewhere in Florida, I think they're looking at flying cars in the future. I don't know. But talk to us about some of those initiatives, because I think this is fascinating. Yeah, and technology is moving so fast.
It is. And fortunately, so is the acceptance, because you have to also move the consumer mindset, and it's a difficult transition to make. We at Ford have seen a 30% increase in the sales of alternative fuels vehicles, such as electric and hybrid vehicles.
Right.
So the acceptance and the adoption is there. Are we fully there yet as a country or on a global scale? Well, of course, it's different where we are geographically. Right. We know here in the U.S. we do have infrastructure issues that we are struggling with, and range anxiety for drivers is a real thing. So hopefully one of the strategies is to continue to work on that grid and increase the capacity for the charging stations around the country. Right. I know that Ford Motor Company has installed more than 1 million charging stations throughout the country over the last 2 years.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, I remember, going back to the chamber and the sustainability luncheon, Albert, you've brought some of these vehicles for us to look at and test out and stuff at some of our luncheons, which I highly encourage everyone to go and buy your ticket, because it usually sells out. It's at the Biltmore Hotel, August 21st from 11 to 2 p.m., 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. usually. And there's all kinds of activities. But that was one of those fun activities that you would provide us. And there was a Mustang, the electric one.
Yep,
So-
the Mach-E.
so
We've had
beautiful.
the F-150 Lightning there. We have a coming out in 2027. We will be announcing the first vehicle coming off the Ford Universal platform, and that is, talk about innovation in technology. That is a total new way of manufacturing vehicles for the future. So we will be introducing this new vehicle in 2027. We're very, very excited about that. And I think in reference to what we're doing on August 21st, I think it's really important for this community to stay engaged, to participate in activities. You talked about education. I think that's critical. We need to get the word out. We all need to stand up and do our part. And like you said, it's everything from understanding how you recycle at home and how to do that responsibly, to what you do on a day-to-day basis when you're out and about in the community. We see a lot of single-use plastics, and it's overwhelming.
Tell me about it.
Let's talk about water contamination and the importance of fresh water and clean waterways in our community. The damage that we've made, we still have time to repair this, to take steps, and we need to continue to do that to make Miami as resilient as possible.
Oh, absolutely, and this takes me to back to waste, but in a good way. So we're gearing up to it towards International Cleanup Day in September, which is a great opportunity for education. The entire world really participates in one cleanup event all over the world, cleaning up our waterways and our beaches and so forth. And Biscayne Bay, my baby, and I know that WastePro is a big proponent and a big sponsor of that event, and we have partnered as part of the South Florida Hispanic Chamber Sustainability Committee, have engaged in cleanup activities as well.
And not only cleanup, but also conservation. And we've donated stakes, paint for turtle nests. Matter of fact, I got an email from the Parks Department the other day that I guess I have adopted turtles because they showed the turtles coming. The turtles laid the eggs in the nest where we provided the supplies for, which is it's fantastic. It's
Very
really
nice.
a good feel that we're doing something positive for the environment. And again, absolutely. Comes the fall now. Once summer heat's kind of gone and it's been hot lately, it's time to really get back into things and help give back to the community and with the cleanups as well as for next turtle season, provide supplies.
It's a great event. But Albert, let's talk a little bit about, and I'm a proud alumni of the Ford Motor Company's Mujeres Legendarias, which is a beautiful program highlighting the impact that women make in the industry, in different industries. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, gladly. A program that Ford is very proud of because it does recognize our unsung heroes, our Latina leaders, our Latina moms, our Latina community influencers. And this platform, Mujeres Legendarias de Ford, started about 12, 13 years ago. And again, it was on the premise that Henry Ford's wife, Clara Bryant, was extremely active in her community as a philanthropist, as a community member. And we wanted to make sure that we kept that legacy and that understanding of the importance of community building alive and well. So in recognition of Latina leadership, we started recognizing women in multiple categories, including entrepreneurial leadership, sustainability, community involvement, innovation and technology. And we've had the opportunity and the honor of recognizing and meeting fabulous women like yourself, Irela, across the country, because we honor them in all our major markets across the country. I'm proud to say that we've honored over 250 women to date. Latinas,
Amazing.
for sure,
Amazing.
and from all different walks of life. These are moms that have extremely large adopted families, or foster care families, to astronauts,
Yes.
to environmental leaders such as yourselves. And we're very, very proud. This year, we are actually right now in the open call for nominations, and we're looking forward to the 2026 honorees and presenting them during Hispanic Heritage Month, which is September through October.
Wonderful. And I have to thank my dear friend Lilian Lopez. She was the one who nominated me for the Legendaria. She herself is also a Legendaria Ford Motor Company. So it's such a great program. And on the note of awarding community leaders, we at this Sustainability Luncheon have our Green Visionary Awards. And I know that we are celebrating one of another Mujer Legendaria alumni, Dr. Lynette Cardoche, who is an incredible environmental leader on the coastal resilience side, and just doing incredible work with local governments and even the federal government, making our coastlines resilient, and just an amazing professional scientist, a good friend as well, a good mentor, and she also serves on a board at the city of Miami, and so does a lot of community service, and those are the kind of people that we look for when we're nominating for this Green Visionary Award. I think there are a few more that are being honored. I'm not sure. Do you know, Albert?
Yes, we are also honoring Natalia Jaramillo. She's with the Miami-Dade Environmental Department.
Yes, an amazing communicator. Natalia's amazing. I love her. She and I were colleagues when I was at the county and working with the mayor. And so, yes, very well deserved.
Yes. Another inspiring leader in our community is Lourdes Mola. And she is currently serving as VP of Latina Business Development for Seminole Gaming. Now, Lourdes is everywhere.
Yeah.
She has,
she
talk about having the pulse of a community. And the impact that this young lady has made in our community in multiple sectors is truly inspiring, and for all young people. And for colleagues, and she's someone who would really looks towards the future as a visionary for us. And also we have Sarah Dable. She's the manager of environmental sustainability for Carnival Cruise Lines. Now, talk about one of our largest corporate partners.
Homegrown
in
corporate
this community.
partners, yes, absolutely.
Honestly, the impact that they have on the economy, on the workforce, on just in everything, in tourism, in our supply chain.
Yes.
In partnerships that they have with our local businesses. So Sarah is one of the important players. I can't wait to hear from her and from all these women as to what we're doing right and where we should be, and what are the steps to make ourselves the best that we can be.
Yeah, it is such a pleasure to hear from them once a year at this particular luncheon. All the things and the advancements that we've made over time. Carnival has become a leader with regard to sustainable
emissions reduction, water conservation.
Correct.
Just really at their scale, just having a sustainable tourism portfolio like that. I mean, it's fantastic.
And it's not just here. Like in all of their ports of call, they make a difference. And so it's great to see all these headquartered firms that are like homegrown Miami doing good things. They understand the impacts that they make on the community level, but also how it helps the environment.
I mean, remember they touch us locally, but they're out there in the sea. I mean, they're out there in international waters, other countries, and they're practicing that same sustainability resiliency elsewhere. It's great.
So, what I also love, and I think I mentioned it earlier, is the takeaway that a lot of people. And this is why this luncheon, this event has transcended the test of time, I would say. Next year is going to be our 10th anniversary, so we got to
do something.
We got to do something big, a decade in. But there's always, everybody walks away just so happy. We're, in the middle of hurricane season, we're in the heat alerts and this and that, but you walk away happy because, you have tips, you get inspired by people that are doing really good things in the community for our environment and our ecosystem, and then little things that they can do at home and in their businesses, right? So it starts with
each one of us. I mean, it starts with each one of us trying to do the right thing. And I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, at home, I put things to the side to go ahead and take it out to the recycling bin. I try to minimize as much garbage as I could put into my waste bin, and I show my kids how to do it right. So, and they're doing it right. So.
It should be second nature at this point in time for all of us, and that's something that we need to pass on. I do want to mention that we do have some other honorees that aren't women. We also have a couple of men. We have John Medina, who is being honored for his green building and infrastructure efforts. We also have Ori Lapidot from Omino Concierge Home Warranty Service. He's being honored for sustainable home solutions. And finally, Jason Neal.
I know Jason.
Yes.
He's getting receiving the Eco Excellence Award.
Good for him.
Oh,
so
that's wonderful.
We're proud of all these honorees.
We can't leave the men out,
No, we can't. And I wanted to make sure that we mentioned all of them and thank them for their leadership and the great
Albert.
efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, green building, I mean, in Miami, that's what we should be doing all the time. We should really make that effort. And there's at least the local developers that I know, they do that. They walk the walk, talk the talk, you know what they say. So I mean, it's great that we're honoring folks that are doing the right thing. I mean, it's just, it's our future. And I have a good friend that says we have only one planet. There's no planet B.
Not yet, at least.
and so we got to all do our part.
Yeah, we're here. We're all here. We're in this together.
Yeah. So there's absolutely something everyone can do to make our planet better. Yeah. And hopefully, if you all are interested in attending the luncheon, it's August 21st, 11 a.m. through 2 p.m. at the Biltmore Hotel. And you can, for information or for tickets or sponsorships, you can go to sflhcc.com.
and hurry up because tickets are running out.
They usually sell out. They usually sell out. Yeah. So I think that's a wrap. I don't know what you want to leave us with, any nugget of No,
I think we covered a lot. I really want to thank you for having us on the show and really being able to talk about everybody's responsibility here and about recycling and about taking care of our environment. But I mean, I'll leave with this. I mean, start if you haven't been doing the right thing, do it today, and you're making a difference for tomorrow. That's all I gotta say.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Honestly, and thank you once again for having us, especially to discuss such an important topic in our community. One thing that I would leave you with is, and this is on a personal note, like you've said, taking personal responsibility in your home or with your family, but also as a small business or a large business of any size. Set your sustainability aspirations. Yes. Have a plan to move forward, because it does involve so many different areas that you probably are not even considering. So you're talking about water conservation, waste management. There's also the human rights issue.
Yes.
That is human sustainability. The supply chain. Who are your partners and what is their protocol in order to keep our community as resilient as possible? So make sure you have those and you review your sustainability aspirations. And no one can do anything alone in this life. So share it with your employees, share it with your families, just to protect our beautiful planet.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Mike and Albert. I look forward to seeing you at the luncheon and the Green Visionary Awards. And that's pretty much it for Resilient Miami. Thank you, Community News Network, for giving us this platform for these fabulous resilient conversations.